Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Sammy Lebrecht and welcome to my YouTube channel. As you can see, some spots in my bookshelf are missing, and that's because they're all right next to me. This video is going to be the book that I have not read in my library. So my TBR for 2025. Now I know all us book lovers have this problem. We won't finish the books that we have purchased. We'll just go in and buy another one. And that's all fine. I am not against that at all. Live your life. I do it all the time. But I feel like this year I should really work on finishing the books that I've been wanting to finish or start that I have lying around here, because what purpose does it serve? I'm making this video because maybe it will give you some inspo on new books to pick up if you've finished with your TBR. So yeah, that's what we're gonna get into today. This is my first sit-down book video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I do have a book club if you want to join that. That is linked below always. It's usually in person for New York, but I also extend it to online. So stay tuned to see what book we're going to be reading for this semester. Let's get into it. First book, The Lonely Hearts Book Club. This is a book that my mom got me. Sloane Parker lives in a small contained town. This man comes into the bookstore that she works at every day, or the library, and one day he doesn't come in. So she finds him sick, technically bedridden, so she starts a book club to bring more cheer into Arthur's life, which is the man. This sounds so interesting. I have a problem of going in between like Wattpad-esque books, happy ending, fairy tale, and then picking up another one and picking up another romance. But I also love a well-written, just normal gut-wrenching story in between. Rip my heart out and make me cry, and then I pick up that like Wattpad-esque book again. So I feel like this will be a good in-between for that, if you know what I'm saying. So this is book number 1, and this is by Lucy Gilmore. Are We Surprised? With Love from London. So I also got from my mom before I moved to London this year. This young girl inherits her mother's bookstore in London. It's basically a story about growing up. It says now a librarian in her 30s, fresh out of a failed marriage and still at odds with her mother's abandonment, Val feels disenchanted with her life. All of the human feels. Really need to read this. Again, another gut-wrenching book that... do I have a problem? Like, you know Daisy Jones and the Six? That really put the knife in my heart and twisted it and kept twisting it. Like, it's right here. You can see how loved my copy is. It's literally insane. Yeah, I love books like that. That's kind of like my two in-betweens. It's like, put me in the psych ward and then, I shouldn't say that, make me go crazy for a couple days, and then I want my modern romance. Okay, next. These were gifted by my uncle. The history of Puerto Rico and history of the Dominican Republic. What it's about is just in the name. I think this is just really important. This is my heritage. I'm half and half. Mom and dad. Yeah, I would just love to learn more. I've taken history of Latin America in college, and obviously it's part of who I am. So just diving deeper into these. I got these for Christmas. It's not like they've been sitting here for too long. By this author. This doesn't have an author. That's so odd. But there we go. Book of Speculation by Erica Swiler. I've heard so much about this book. This is also gifted to me by my mother. Sorry, Mom. Do read the books you get me. She's gotten me a lot of books, and I've read a lot of them, okay? This description is short, so I'm just gonna read it to you. One day, a mysterious old book arrives on Simon Watson's doorstep on Long Island, filled with elaborate scripts, sketches, and whimsical flourishes. It tells of doomed lovers and generations of circus mermaids who have drowned just like Simon's mother on July 24th, which is just weeks away. As a childhood friend and his fellow librarian, Alice, looks on with alarm, Simon becomes increasingly worried about his sister who ran off to join the circus 6 years ago. Could there be possibly a curse on this family? What secrets are hidden in this fantastic book, and will those secrets doom on the remaining Watsons? It's fiction, short story, kind of like a mystery, and a family saga, so just like gives adventure. I love a good adventure, mystery, subplot moment. This one's actually pretty cool. It's called Drinking a Love Story. This is by Carolyn Knapp, and I found this at a... don't focus on me. I found this at a thrift store. And as you can see, the condition is like pretty old, pretty loved. But it's pretty much a book about alcoholism and the toxic tale between drinking and a human. The LA Times book review says, quietly moving, Caroline Knapp dazzles us with her heady description of alcohol's allure and its devastating hold. From the writing on the back, it caught my eye in the thrift store. Can you stop focusing on me? I picked this up probably over 2 years ago and I have not read it. And I feel like I could finish this pretty fast because the text is pretty big. It says on the back, it was love at first sight, the beads of moisture on a chilled bottle, the way the glasses clinked and the conversation flowed. Then it became an obsession. The way she hid her bottles behind her lover's refrigerator. The way she slipped from the dinner table to the bathroom, from work to the bar. And then, like so many love stories, it all fell apart. Drinking is Caroline Knapp's harrowing chronicle of her 20-year-old love affair with alcohol. So, I feel like it's going to be a really insightful... My room is in the basement when I'm back home, so if someone showers or flushes the toilet or uses the sink, I hear it. But yeah, I really liked the writing style and how genuinely describing her relationship with alcohol as a love story. I know we're all sad to see this year because I said in another YouTube video that I was gonna read it, and I did read a little bit, but then I stopped. I read about like that much. Ooh, don't hurt me. This is by Jacqueline Susan, who wrote Valley of the Dolls, which is my favorite book, I think, of all time so far in my life. And it gives the same like Hollywood, 3 women in the movie star world, sex, drugs, show business type. The beginning was so much that I think I closed the book, but I want to get back into this because I really do love Jacqueline Susan. So sorry, that's my alarm because I'm gonna have to join a meeting really quick and then continue filming this. So yeah, it's pretty hefty, but I feel like once I get into it, it'll be a good read. But if you haven't read Valley of the Dolls 2, we read that for my book club a few years ago. I loved this book. This was also so hefty. There is a movie, but I feel like the movie like halfly represents the story. If I were to ever remake a book, do a movie remake for a book, there would be tons, but this one would be so cool to do because I feel like they left out a lot in the movie that they do have released because it's a little wacky and cool. It has that allure, but this story I think is so important to push out. It has a lot of subplots and storylines which I think are very important. So if you ever have some free time, I would recommend this book to anyone, honestly, men, women, all. It's fantastic and she did so good with the writing. So that's why I want to read this one because it gives the same feel. I have to pick it up. This is just for the summer. It's like the false dating trope, like fake dating. I believe. Love it. And they probably end up falling in love. But I bought this last summer and I didn't get around to finishing it because I was reading my other summer books, and this was the last summer book that I bought. And if you know me, I need to read seasonally. So unfortunately, once summer was over, I could not. So I'll wait until summer to read this, but this is my 2025 TBR from my house. Okay, so we're stepping up here. So I'll wait for someone to roll around and read this, but I've heard really good things about this book and it's really pretty. This, I also have to read. My mom read this. My uncle also got me this. It's called Dominicana by Angie Cruz. This is also on the Good Morning America book club. Basically, she gets an arranged marriage opportunity to move to New York City. She accepts, she moves, but then it's pretty much a tale of this young girl's long life of suffering and even how DR goes into political turmoil. She plans to escape her marriage, go back and forth, and from what my mom has told me and what the description is, it's just like that transactional nature of marriage and very realistic, sadly. So I really do want to read this year just because I've heard so many good things from my family about this book.
Shift the vision into our spring idea. And then, so another shoe that has been altered is...
Okay, I'm back. Meeting over. I'm the fashion editor for my school's magazine, so we just had a little meeting because my semester is going to start in 2 weeks. My senior year, final semester of college. That's it. Like, I'm gonna share 2 rereads. Number 1, starting with We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han, the Summer Term Pretty series. If you know, you know why I'm gonna rate the 3rd series, but if you don't, I mean, I'm sure you do. But this series right here is a TV show, and the last season is coming out this summer, and I've read the whole series before. I just want to refresh my memory before the season comes out, and from what I do remember, if it's not exactly like the book, I'm gonna be really upset. Team Conrad, for real. Okay, that's all I gotta say. If you haven't read the series, I say it's not too late to start. This book has the most tea. I think the second book is my favorite, but this is the book. So if you want to read it before the show comes out, you have time. Another reread for this year is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is my favorite book of hers. I read all of her books, all right here. And the reason I want to reread it is because love it. This is also being filmed, but also this edition that I got for Christmas. My sister got it for me. It's beautiful. Like, it's the sunset. It's stunning. So I kind of want to read this during the summer, of course. Maybe when it starts getting warmer, get me in the feels. Like, and the actual book itself, it says, I feel overwhelmed that you exist. Obviously I read a lot, but I feel like I don't read as much as I should. It takes me a while to finish a book, just because once I get into like my busyness of school, work, routine, I read when I can. And that's why I do have my book club, because we read a book in about like in the span of a semester, which is good, but that shouldn't be the only book that I'm reading, you know? Okay, next, Diana, Her True Story in Her Own Words. I don't know if it's actually her own words. This is by Andrew Morden. This is every girl's Roman Empire, or at least it's mine. I love Princess Diana. Growing up, she's always just been someone who I've looked up to and indulged in her story. So I've had this book for years and I've never read it. So I really want to read it this year and just make time for it, because it's been sitting in my shelf for way too long. My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Almost everyone has read at this point. It's been in my library for a little bit over a year, because I know that everyone says it drags out, but that's the point of the book. So I have to be in a mental space where it won't bring me down with it, shall I say. She's young, pretty, recent Columbia graduate, works an easy job at a hip art gallery, lives in an apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. There's a hole in her heart though, and it isn't just the loss of her parents or the way her Wall Street boyfriend treats her. It's her relationship with her best friend. Just one of those where it might take me down with it. But everyone says it's a pretty good read, and some people say they don't like it, but I feel like I'll get it. It's like one of those, like, if you get it, you get it. I feel like I'll get it, so I'm gonna make time for this book. Yes. Next, we have 2 Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. I love her writing style. I've read When True Loves, Daisy Jones. Everyone says that Malibu Rising changed their life. This is about family, choice, and like summer setting. So it's 1983. They host the end of the year summer party. Everyone wants to be around the family. They're a well-known family, rich. Everyone wants to be them. Everyone wants to be around them. By the morning of this party, the mansion will go up in flames and they lose everything they own. It's crazy because I think this book, from what I'm reading, is over the span of one night. Crazy to me, but I like books like that. I feel like you have to be a really talented author to write a whole book in the span of a short period of time. That was almost like, honestly, okay, I haven't read it in a while, but I think Every Summer After, wasn't it, besides the year differences, wasn't the main plot of this, like the rest of the book, like over the span of 3 days, like besides the back and forth? I might be imagining that. Oh, you know when you've had a book for a long time and it starts turning yellow? Oh yeah, like one weekend. Besides the flashbacks, the main plot took course over one weekend in the book. And I feel like authors that know how to do that slay. They slay my life, because you're like, when is it? Oh, that all happened in a day? Yeah, send it to me. Love it. I love this book. This needs to be a film. This needs to be a movie, or I feel like this needs to be a TV show. But if it's 3 days, I don't know how they would do that. Maybe a movie. But I feel like a TV show would do them good, because they could do the flashbacks. I don't know. Very good. I'd love to do that as well. Is that mold on my book? Wait, is this real? Oh no, it looks like actual mold. This is not book mold. This is probably just something that spilled on my book. I hope so. I really hope so. Next, by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Maybe in Another Life, I actually have no idea what it's about. I got this as a gift for my birthday. It's been on my TBR. Let's read the description. I just forgot what it's about. Hannah Martin still has no idea what she wants to do with her life. She has lived in 6 different cities and held countless meaningless jobs since college. On the heels of a disastrous breakup, she finally returned to her hometown of LA. To celebrate her first night back, her best friend Gabby takes Hannah out to a bar where she bumped into her high school boyfriend Ethan. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What happens when if she leaves with Gabby? What happens if she leaves with Ethan? Okay, so she knew him, ran into her ex, maybe in another life. It's giving that. It's giving plot. It's giving, ooh, you know, whenever I read a book where it's kind of like taboo, because I'm just finishing One Day in December. I know it's January 13th. I'm reading it from like a third person point of view. I'm like, oh, like what are they gonna do next? What are you gonna do? Because I wouldn't do any of this, but it's fun to read about it. Little Women. I've never seen the movie because I've always wanted to read the book. This is a beautiful edition. It's the 150th anniversary illustrated edition. We all know what this is about. I don't even have to tell you guys, but it's humongous. It's a beautiful book. There's like illustrations throughout. I almost don't want to read this because of how pretty it is, but I feel like it's very like me when I graduate this, like post-grad this summer, like reading Little Women. Like this is how you know I either need help or I'm chilling. I'm so secure in myself, like, you know. Okay, we're all gonna frown. These are a lot of books. These are a lot of books. This is the amount of books that people read in a year, and I know I'm gonna buy a book and not read half of these. I know myself. But if I don't get to this one this year, I'm not gonna be too mad because look at how big it is. Yes, this is volume 1 of the complete Sherlock Holmes collection. I love Sherlock Holmes. I love the show. In Sherlock Holmes, Sherlock's area in London, I lived on Baker Street, pretty much. I visited the museum. This is my one nerd moment, okay? I bought this too long ago. I feel like this is like a very like mysterious thing to read in public, like, oh. But I know the story, so I can picture it in my head easier. So I feel like it wouldn't be as hard of a read. It's just, it is 700 pages. And then count this as a series. This is definite because this is my next read, Magnolia Park series. I know what this is about, okay? And I will eat it up. I probably will. Socialite, she's a London socialite. I think it's like a dysfunctional relationship. It's giving normal people. They keep breaking up, getting, oh, hi. High profile lives as well. Can we just focus? I know you're getting tired of me, but wow, it says on the back, how many loves do you get in a lifetime? What do you guys think? I think, okay, that's enough. You need to look at me now. I haven't lived enough life to know, but it's hard because everyone says like your first love is like the love, but that's a little scary if that's true because like you're on your wedding day and you're thinking about your first love. No, may that never find me. May that never find me. I think it depends on the type of person you are. I think everyone is meant to receive love. Some people are better at giving love than receiving it because they're very closed off. I didn't mean for this to get so deep. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna do sporadical sit-down videos throughout my time on YouTube because I like lifestyle and vlogs, but sometimes I don't want to show everything in my life. Not that I do anyway when I do my vlogs because I'm very strategic on how I film. However, I want to incorporate books more into my video, and I feel like sometimes a sit-down video is nice to put on in the background if you're listening to me cleaning, if you're listening to me for book recommendations, or if you're just trying to get inspired to read the books in your library. Whatever it is, I'm glad that you found me, and I hope you continue to watch my videos and we continue to slay. Let me stack them back up. Am I gonna buy books this year? No doubt, but I am gonna try to read most of these, if not all. I think I could do it if I just like start right now. Oh, I knew that would happen. Hold on.